Chapter 2 begins immediately after Jin Guan's powerful punch shakes the entire Maha Guild building. The shockwave spreads through the room, leaving everyone speechless. The guild members rush inside, only to find one of their men lying, unconscious on the floor. None of them understand what just happened. Even the masked guild leader is confused. His subordinates believe he defeated Jin Guan with incredible speed, but the leader quietly admits that he only raised his club. In reality, Jin Guan instinctively redirected the attack before it could hit. His body reacted on its own without him even realizing it. Watching the destruction around him, Jin Guan notices the broken walls and shattered floor. Outside, children are still playing nearby, completely unaware of what almost happened. At that moment, he realizes the true danger of his own strength. If he had thrown a serious punch, the entire area could have been destroyed, along with countless innocent people. Instead of fighting recklessly, Jin Guan decides not to resist. He allows the guild members to capture him because he doesn't want innocent people getting caught in another attack. The thugs assume he has already given up and drag him into an underground prison, chaining him inside a dark stone cell. As he sits alone, Jin Guan begins thinking about his power. He spent 10 years training to become stronger, but he never learned how to control that strength. A single punch now carries enough force to destroy everything around him. He realizes that true strength isn't just about power. It's about knowing how to control it. While he is deep in thought, a familiar face appears outside the cell. It is Alice. Holding a rice ball in her hand, she nervously looks at Jin Guan, unsure of what to say. Jin Guan calmly introduces himself and jokes that selling someone for a single rice ball is a pretty cheap deal. Alice immediately gets annoyed, telling him this isn't the time for jokes. Alice finally admits the truth. She really does need money because her younger sister is seriously ill. That part wasn't a lie. However, she has no intention of apologizing for betraying Jin Guan. In her eyes, she did whatever was necessary to save her family. Jin Guan quietly listens to her without getting angry. Instead, he asks a simple question, "So, the money is really for your sister's treatment?" Alice is surprised by his response. She expected him to be furious, but instead, he is worried about her sister. Jin Guan tells her that he offered to help from the beginning, and he still hopes her sister recovers. After losing his own father, he understands how painful it is to lose someone important. That's why he doesn't want anyone else to experience the same pain. Alice becomes flustered and calls him an idiot for worrying about someone who betrayed him. She asks why he isn't angry after everything she has done. Jin Guan simply smiles and says there's no reason to be angry anymore. Before Alice leaves, Jin Guan asks her for one favor. He hands over his martial arts manual and tells her to keep it safe until he returns. Alice silently accepts the book and promises to protect it. Soon after, the prison door opens. The guild members chain Jin Guan together with several other captives and load everyone onto a large wagon. Their destination is a secret slave market hidden deep inside the forest. As the wagon moves forward, the guards casually talk among themselves. They reveal that this place is far away from the Hunter Association, because their entire operation would be exposed if anyone found it. One guard also warns that they are passing through a dangerous B-rank monster territory. If monsters attack them here, no one on the wagon is expected to survive. After a long journey through the forest, the wagon finally reaches the hidden slave trading base. The guards quickly unload the prisoners and warn them not to cause any trouble. The slave market owner is excited to see the new arrivals, especially after hearing that one of the prisoners has an unusually strong body. The captives are taken inside for inspection. The slave trader orders his workers to feed every prisoner well because healthy slaves sell for a much higher price. He also orders them to clean every prisoner before the auction begins. Unlike the others, Jin Guan doesn't seem worried at all. Instead, he happily enjoys the free food and casually finishes several roasted chicken legs without a care. After finishing his meal, Jin Guan is taken to the bathhouse, where the workers scrub away 10 years' worth of dirt from his body. As he relaxes in the warm water, he casually jokes that being treated like this doesn't seem so bad. The old bathhouse attendant sighs after hearing those words. He explains that the comfortable treatment won't last long. Once the auction begins, every slave will lose their freedom and be sold to the highest bidder. After the bath, the old man introduces himself. Everyone calls him Sip Jap Su because he works many different jobs around the estate. Jin Guan politely introduces himself as well, and the old man carefully looks at his clean face. The moment Sip Jap Su hears Jin Guan's name and sees his face, he suddenly freezes. A strange feeling washes over him. He is certain they have met before, but no matter how hard he thinks, he can't remember where. Before either of them can continue the conversation, the guards return and order every prisoner to head toward the auction hall. With no other choice, Jin Guan calmly follows them, ready to face whatever awaits him next. The prisoners are marched through a massive hallway toward the auction area. The guards repeatedly warn them not to even think about escaping because there is no way out of the estate. Jin Guan quietly observes everything around him as they walk. The mansion is much larger than Jin Guan expected, and he immediately begins searching for an escape route. Along the way, he notices the same two boys who helped clean him in the bathhouse. He casually walks over and asks if they know the way outside. The boys nervously admit that they do, but before they can explain anything, Jin Guan cheerfully suggests that they leave together. The boys stare at him in disbelief. One of them points at the heavy chains around his wrists and reminds him he is still a prisoner. Jin Guan calmly looks down at the chains and smiles. He says the body his parents gave him is precious, so he has no intention of letting anyone control it. A nearby guard hears those words and immediately orders him to stop talking. Instead of listening, Jin Guan lightly flexes his arm. The thick iron chains instantly snap apart. Before the guards can react, he casually sends one of them flying across the hallway with a single strike. Everyone freezes in complete shock. Meanwhile, another worker prepares a branding iron for the new slaves. He orders Jin Guan to remove his clothes so he can be marked before the auction. Jin Guan politely refuses. Then, with a small movement, he destroys the remaining restraints. Now completely free, Jin Guan thanks everyone for taking care of him before calmly walking away. Several guards rush toward him, but none of them can stop him. One after another, they are effortlessly knocked to the ground. The entire estate falls into chaos as alarms echo throughout the building. The guards desperately call for reinforcements while Jin Guan calmly follows the two boys toward the nearest exit, as if nothing unusual has happened. Outside the estate, the slave trader confidently laughs as the alarms continue ringing through the mansion. He tells his men he had already prepared for a situation like this. Escape attempts were inevitable, so he hired a powerful hunter just in case. Moments later, a well-dressed man steps forward with a confident smile. The guards immediately recognize him as Lord Mian Chung of the Seoul clan. Proud of his reputation, Mian Chung begins introducing himself and boasting about his abilities. Before Mian Chung can finish speaking, a loud noise echoes from the nearby forest. The ground suddenly begins to shake. A pair of enormous glowing eyes appears between the trees, and a gigantic mountain bear bursts out of the forest. The terrifying B-rank monster lets out a deafening roar that freezes everyone in place. Before anyone can react, the mountain bear attacks. With a single swipe of its massive claws, it instantly kills the hunter standing closest to it. The slave trader is horrified. His guards panic as they realize that even a skilled hunter cannot survive against the monster. Everyone immediately starts running for their lives. At the same time, Jin Guan and the two boys reach the forest. The boys immediately recognize the danger and desperately tell Jin Guan to run. Instead of panicking, he calmly looks at the enormous creature. He tilts his head with genuine curiosity because the mountain bear doesn't seem frightening to him. Instead, Jin Guan simply wonders why the monster has such a strange appearance. As the furious mountain bear lets out another roar and charges straight toward him, he remains completely calm without showing even the slightest fear. At that very moment, an entirely different thought crosses Jin Guan's mind. He quietly wonders whether Alice is keeping his martial arts manual safe, just as she promised, even as the giant monster rushes toward him. The story then shifts away from the forest and back to the city. As night falls, Alice quietly walks through the empty streets with the medicine money in her hands. She thinks about her younger sister and promises to bring the medicine home today. No matter what happens, she is determined to save her sister. As Alice reaches a quiet street, someone suddenly appears behind her. Startled, she quickly turns around and is shocked to see Jin Guan standing there as if nothing had happened. The first thing Alice asks is how he managed to escape from the slave traders. Jin Guan casually replies that they simply let him go. She immediately realizes he isn't telling the whole truth, but before she can ask more, he asks about her sister. Suddenly she realized that her sister was alone in the house. She busts into house and asks about her sister's condition. Her sister recognized Jin Guan as their guest. She apologizes him to not able to welcoming him properly. Suddenly Jin Guan sensed foreign energy emitting from her. She told Alice the whole thing happened while she is away. She told some mysterious people arrived at home and steal money. Moreover, they took away Jin Guan's secret martial artist manual. Her sister wore outnumbered against those people. By the time everything is over, the attackers have already vanished into the darkness. Filled with guilt, Alice bursts into tears. She repeatedly apologizes to Jin Guan because she failed to keep her promise and protect his martial arts manual. Instead of getting angry, Jin Guan quietly looks at her and understands how deeply she blames herself. Now, recovering the stolen martial arts manual has become even more important. With a new goal ahead of him, Jin Guan prepares to take action. And with that, chapter 2 comes to an end. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more videos.